Hello and welcome back to the Luton Town Tactical View Only career mode here on EAFC. Apologies once again if you are interested in the F1 Manager. My life has taken a turn of late. I'm having to travel quite a lot midweek and I've run out of free time to really play through the Grand Prix to get to the next F1 video. Yeah, ironically, by trying to speed up the F1 series, it's now slower. So yeah, apologies on that one. As soon as I actually get some free time to play through all the Grand Prix to get to the end of the season, that video will be recorded, as I've said previously. For this one, because there's no downtime between the episodes other than clicking through this week, I can just click record and get going. So it's a lot quicker for me to get one of these ready and out. So in my limited free time as I have right now, this is kind of the best option you're going to get for an upload. So we're going to continue on with this for now as basically the only uploads. And as soon as I get that time to do the F1, you'll see that. Maybe next Monday, we'll see. But as for the calendar, Manchester United away, Crystal Palace at home, and then we will do Brentford away and Arsenal at home to give us a next episode that starts with Manchester City and ends with Chelsea, which may be the first repeat game that we've played. And of course, it is business time now, so I think if it wasn't for the injury to Chavez, I wouldn't have bothered with Sanchez. Of course, it's always going to be an excellent deal as a free agent. He is a 76, which is still better than what we have in that midfield. On 24k a week, actually, as well. There was a upfront fee but of 230,000, but for £24,000 a week, he's actually on less money than Clark, who is worse and older. Right then, just a small matter of Old Trafford and Manchester United. I'm hoping those bibs aren't an indication of who's starting this game, because a lot of this... No, there we are. McTominay captains the Manchester United side, somehow. I think that might be wrong. A Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans centre-back pairing for Manchester United, according to the stadium announcer there. Really wish I'd gone for the one that gave me rapid play styles. As it is, we've got Tecatito a relentless, and Adebayo's in already. Manchester United fall apart immediately. Who knew this was simulated correctly? Also in the really nice... I don't know if it's the second or third kit, if I'm completely honest. I believe the white one's the away kit and this is the third, but it's my favourite of the three. As a person who likes orange kits as a whole, it's surprising. But it's a fantastic finish from Adebayo, and that might be Bayern Deer in goal, actually. They have rotated. Supposedly will be active in Champions League at this point of the season, no matter what. So maybe that's something to do with it. Maybe they've had to deal with Champions League midweek, and this is the enforced rotation off the back of that. But there's still Bruno Fernandes. I can still see Højlund. I can still see Rashford out there. So regardless of how good you think they are in real life, they are playing their first team players, apart from the goalkeeper. And obviously in AFC, it's more on their statistics rather than their nuanced performances. You may call into question Rashford's performances, Onana's performances, whatever, and how reliable they are week in, week out. In the game, that doesn't matter. They will treat them as the 85s they are, I think. But yeah, it's only really the centre-back pairing, I think, that is a little bit squiffy. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right-back, although I think there's only 80 rated options at right-back, regardless of who's there. Dalot and Wan-Bissaka are both 80. So yeah, it's only Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire that you'd probably question, and even so, one of those is probably the first choice. Because Varane's the only high-rated centre-back they have. There's Anthony. Giles gives it to Nakamba. This is sensible from the back, please. That's less sensible. Trying to find the slightly more diminutive Mexican than Bruno Fernandes, but Morris has tackled Maguire, who's absolutely fluffed that. Look, fair enough in my eyes, he got the ball. A bit clumsy, perhaps. Back to Van der Beek's on. Sorry, that bit I overlooked. And that actually brings me on to a point I wanted to make. Thank God Kaminski saved that so I can continue on here. After the Perisic situation at Spurs, I genuinely don't know what set of teams I've actually put in squad-wise, because I definitely went for current squads, which would have been up to date even doing this, offline. So I don't really know what's happened. Tecatito's done well here, got Kabore in, but Van der Beek's obviously out on loan, I believe, somewhere. And crucially, from a Luton point of view, something I only realised this weekend, we don't have Andros Townsend. I don't know how much of a detriment that is, but we don't have Andros Townsend, which at the very least would have been one more player, but would have been a player that I don't necessarily think would have fit the squad, because I would assume he would be written in as a winger, and this formation doesn't use those. Maybe he could play cam, and maybe we could have used him as more rotation for Barkley originally, and not needed to go for someone like Corona, but that would have been the only real thing. As Morris puts Adebayo in, Adebayo's just running. Morris does have power header on this one. That's not going to fall to him. That's Sanchez. He's got lucky it's fallen to Morris, and that's unfortunate. That couldn't have been a worse control if it tried. That's a really good ball to Morris, weirdly, but then the subsequent header's woeful. Højlund's tackled out there. Tecatito will not get Adebayo. That was not his best work. And we are getting close to half-time. Tom Lockyer has come out to deal with Anthony. I don't sense this one going particularly well. He's passed it back to Fernandes. Or Fernandes, sorry. Rashford, blocked by Osho. If we just get the ball off the pitch, this will be half-time. Oh, there you have a shot that misses. Either or will be fine. That one's not fine. That's a really good goal. No disrespect to Hoyland, but his in-game baby face is quite hilarious. He looks about 12. It's a pity he's such a good shot. It's like a weird approximation of Hoyland. It's not an in-game face, I don't think. If it is, it's a terrible one. So in regards to substitutions this second half, Tecatito may not need to be substituted because he did get the relentless temporary playstyle. I'm fascinated to see what that does for his energy levels over the course of this game, because being able to keep our best player on this pitch for the entire 90 will make a world of difference. And that's no offence to Ross Barkley, who has been, you know, as I've said, utterly done by the EAFC people. He's not a 74 rated player. Something like 77, 78 I think would have been acceptable, but then again, Gordon's a 75, so I genuinely don't know what they're thinking on some people. Just about kept that one in there, the Manchester United player, but Van der Beek is dispossessed. No, he isn't. I got bamboozled there. Hoyland has turned Tom Lockyer in the easiest fashion possible. And Kaminsky saves admittedly what should have been. I mean, that was more likely going to be a goal than the one he actually scored. Actually had more shots than Manchester United. I'm struggling to remember 5 shots, if I'm honest. I only remember the goal. Ugh, that's well worked up to this point. And why is Van der Beek in that much space? We play a 5-back, lads. I don't know what happened there with the... Why does Aaron Tech Hard look like Sean Dyche? We play a 5-back. There should not be that much gap between our centre-backs. In fact, there's not even a centre-back. Oh, I think one of them's committed. I think Osho committed. We questioned him. We questioned his inclusion recently. Tecatito. I should say, like, the aims, really, to get through these next couple of episodes. The whole idea, really, was just to make sure we were in a salvageable position by the time January window opened. So anything outside of the bottom 3 is a bonus by the time we reach January. What are you doing, Morris? Pass it. There's obviously people behind you. Morris's decision-making is questionable, but Sambi Lokonga takes over there. That's Tecatito. Tries to pull away from Maguire. Doesn't achieve it. But this genuinely might be Carlton Morris's last game. I forgot about the fact he was on the brink before last game, and I was likely going to swap him out for this one. So we'll make sure we make that change for the next match, because Ogbene, of course, every time he's come off the bench, has scored, pretty much. So we'll see if he does that. Oh, my God. Knife butter comes to mind. 83% pass completion. 83. Theirs is 97. As Casemiro comes on for Evans. I didn't even clock the Casemiro situation. So hang on, who's gone into centre-back then? Casemiro's just playing centre-back. All right. Do you want to get that ball? Lads, do you want it? Thank good, yes. Genuinely question the AI for the moment, if they were just going to let that one run. But Doherty now charging. Shaw looks absolutely knackered according to the bar at the bottom. But Doherty's just gone all the way. He's left-footed, let's not forget. And now he's run out of space. It was looking all right for a moment there, and then he just... No. Please tell me why Nakamba, despite being able to play centre-mid, gets a negative as a centre-mid, but a positive as a centre-back. Barkley gets a warning, but he's fine with it. We never got to the bottom of that Nakamba situation, did we? Oh, Van der Beek's just rolled Osho. Oh no, that is Nakamba. I'll be honest, it was a really bright start, which then just immediately evaporated. As Mason Mount, I think that is, comes on for Van der Beek. Fernandes. Okay, we've successfully defended a short corner. It is a miracle. Barkley should have... Through ball him. Thank you. Back to Barkley. We have options in the box. If you want to find the one on the far post... Nope, never mind. Head it back in. Never mind. We've lost. An incredibly bright start, followed by 88 minutes of mediocrity. It's like we scored and then immediately forgot how to play football, particularly defensively. It's a bit of a weird one, that, because, you know, we went 1-0 up, so I would have liked it. But, of course, away to the Big Six team in a game like this... That notification confused me. Ball position change open. I thought, what the hell's a ball position? It's a surname. Weird that the attacking wingback growth option does not improve the attacking work rate, but normal wingback does. Inverted does the weak foot, which would always be nice. Been 76 on him. Just to let you know, by the way, with Tremblay, we will promote him just before the January transfer window and then try to loan him out for the remainder of the season, because he's not going to get in our squad with the 63. Sanchez looking a little bit squiffy following the international break, so and Panzu in. But back at Kenilworth Road for this one, Ogbene does start over Morris. Having a lovely little chat with White. May he enjoy retirement actually this time round in real life. And I hope he's actually doing a lot better. Haven't really heard much on that front, thinking about it. You know what, we'll just do this one on broadcast to see how you feel about broadcast as a camera angle. It's obviously the slightly more natural camera angle for a broadcast, hence the name. Corner put in by Giles, Adebayo's under it. Wish I'd given him power header. Oof, close. No cigar. Take your time, Sam Johnson, it's alright. We've got all day. I should be Sam Johnson anyway. Oh, it's Henderson. What is the goalkeeper situation at Crystal Palace? Do they have Henderson, Johnston and Guaita? Because if so, then they're stacked with decent goalkeepers. None of them world class, of course, but they're all decent. Also, God knows how James Trafford got in the England squad. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Sam Johnston. What? Even Dean Henderson would have been a better option. Eze scored. Did Elise and or Eze declare for not English nations? I think one of them has, one of them hasn't. But I forget which round they are. I think it's Elise that declared for Ghana, I think, or something like that. Eze might still be declared for England for now. But much like Kobe Mainu, can we just get one of the... Can we just cap any relatively competent English player just so we've got options going forward? That is not demeaning to Eze, who is more than just moderately competent. He's a very good player, as would have been Elise had we capped him. Oh, we've got the ball back off Gray. That's sloppy. I think Gray might be in the same boat, thinking about it. I don't know if he's capped. I don't know if he's been capped by England or any other of the nations he can declare for. It's Ryan Giles to put this one in at some point when the game decides that he's ready for the corner. Here we go. Lerma clears. Tecatito gathers. Press proven for this match. Back post doesn't get to him. Elise, that's now Ogbene. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. I'll make his mind up eventually. Stops that tackle from happening, and he's scored. Brought into the first team lineup, starting lineup, and has repaid me immediately. Carl Morris. Carl Morris is a goner, I'm afraid now. What a finish as well. It's always satisfying when it comes off the crossbar, isn't it? Roy's sad about that. Guehi, Mitchell, another English prospect that really ought to be capped just for good measure. Edouard. Edouard's gone under the radar at Palace for a couple of years now, hasn't he? He was sensational when he was in Scotland, which is what earned him the move. And he's been sort of quietly competent for Palace without being sensational there. I think he's had better seasons than people have been aware of, but I don't think it's been anything, you know, Watkins at Villa-esque. Adebayo has done that. That's an incredible sliding challenge. From behind, takes him out, does get the ball. Mind you, Sambi Lokonga, that's a bad touch from Ogbene and an even worse one to follow up. Still nearly got a shot off because Gray kind of lingered on it before clearing it. And sort of running into Ayew. Not helpful. Elise, can we get the ball back? Nope. Sheffield United in the next episode, I believe. That's obviously the one that we kind of have to view as a must-win. Ogbene, another... He's not very good at choosing the first touch, is he? He just wants to leg it up the field. Edouard now, into the shady end of Kenilworth. Oh no. Jordan Ayew was highlighted of having 3 and 3. How is Eze missed that? That is poor. Or he's not going to be happy with that one either. And once again, we're just taking our time before we restart. Adebayo's been injured somehow. Maybe from that sliding challenge from behind? Otherwise, I have no idea why he'd been caught. Lokonga's apparently injured. Wait, no, hang on. Why is he just saying Sam Lokonga +3? Oh no, that's the amount of injury time. Right, okay. The UI not really helping me out there. Just a little bit confusing. So do I have 2 injured players then? Is that what it's trying to tell me? If so, that's annoying. No, they're fine. Corona weirdly looks fitter than he was last game when he had Relentless. Can we get the ball? Thank you. No, no, no. Burnley are beating West Ham, which is, based on the table right now, a massive shock and a huge problem for us. Adebayo has to just hold things up a little bit because the one person who was ahead of him and well offside. And Panzu now on the edge of the box. He's going to go for it. It's a good palm by Henderson. It'll be Lokonga from this side. He's popped it in. It's going to be it. Ogbene under it, I think. Yes. Ward. Back to Decore. Edouard now. As I think that's making the run. Ayew. New run on the left-hand side, which I assume is Elise this time. Eze made another run there, which went unnoticed. And unfortunately, they ended up through-balling it after everyone had kind of decided to come back again. Bottom offside positions. Lockyer. Don't get caught out. Hasn't got caught out. Credible ball to... Well, ended up being Adebayo. I'm not fully certain what happened there. Ogbene left it maybe offside. So Adebayo took it over and then Ogbene back onside. Got the shot off. Elise on this right-hand side. Ayew. I think it was the left back that was making the run before. Mitchell. Not Elise. Elise's on this side. Oh dear. Edouard. Space. Stays in though. Giles. If we could be sensible with it. We have been so far. Nakamba. Mpanzu. Giles again. Back to Mpanzu. Giles kind of tackled. Mpanzu does well to kind of bait in the avoidance from the Crystal Palace player. And that's does get to Kabore, but then he does something absolutely useless with it. I didn't think it was going to get to Kabore in the first place, so, you know, one extra touch was more than I was anticipating. But then, of course, the disappointment was just marginally delayed as a result. Like, I genuinely believe Relentless did nothing last game. Doesn't have it this time round, has press proven. 87 pass accuracy. Again, this is where our main drawback is. It's just that can't connect passes. Osho doesn't get that ball. Nakamba does get that one. Sambi Lukonga. And obviously this is because we're trying to play a style that Luton aren't well equipped for. But Giles finds Ogbene, ricochets off into Lerma. They've kind of tackled themselves out of it. Back to Ogbene, who is not in a striking position. Adebayo neither, really. And Panzu on the edge of the box might go for it himself. No, Takatito doesn't get the space. Back to the Samuel Lukonga. Great pass to Adebayo. He's gone from distance a little bit. That's not going to be a corner. They will get there. I've made substitutions. They're not going to come on, I don't think. Ward finds Eze. I'm slightly worried the last attack of this game is going to result in a winner for one team. And right now, that's looking like Palace. Although Kabore's got the ball back. Yeah, we're not going to get substitutes on. I made those substitutes 20 minutes ago in game. And Panzu finds Giles. That's not going to get there, but we'll get to Ogbene just by fortune more than anything. Giles now finds Adebayo. Should have gone the other way. He's had a shot. Substitute somewhat redundant just for one corner. It's going to be Lockyer underneath it. 1-1. We'll take a point. Every point counts in this game before we get the reinforcements in January. Strengthen the defence, strengthen the left back, and then of course we just get to apply for loans for various players if you want to go that route, or signings if we actually have enough money for those. Don't think we do. One of the objectives is spend all of the transfer budget though, which obviously isn't huge. West Ham came back to draw with Burnley. Why are we unhappy? We're outside the relegation zone. 2 new acquisitions from the Canadian input actually. Carson Riley and Larry Fisher both come in, both 17, both mid-50s as things stand, both maybe 94 maximum. Doubt it, obviously, but at least minimum 71 and 75. One right mid, we'll obviously have to work out what to do with that. And one centre forward, which we'll keep as a centre forward for now to get his defensive work rate up to at least medium before retraining him into a cam, where you can no longer do that. Although his shooting's not awful either, but his dribbling's reasonable, so could go forward with him, actually. I may have made an error on the team sheet and not ordered it in time, but it's the Brentford Community Stadium, and Kabore that intercepts. Osho, find Takatito. Absolutely failed in my temporary playstyles. Genuinely think that challenge was impossible. And Bumo coming... Oh, well. Convincing with a save, at least. But Morpai, yeah, should have done better, really. It's a good save. And it's a quarter time, so let's get their goal out of the way nice and early here. And Bumo. Still on Bumo. Oh, Takatito. That was actually a poor pass. Nakamba can come forward and doesn't. I mean, sends Mbumo. Giles. Option on the far side. Takatito now. Avoids that sliding challenge. Kabore, if he's onside, is in a really promising position, but Flecken gathers the cross and Adebayo's stopped functioning. Aaron Hickey. It's not great from, I think, Sanchez, that. Morpai. Giles does get the tackle in twice and doesn't actually get away with the ball. The camera has to come in and deal with that. Giles. It's the thing I've been frustrated most about in my active playing stuff on Ultimate Team and what have you, is the fact that you can tackle as many times as you like, you just still won't come away with the ball. It is just as bad as the Football Manager in that respect. The amount of times I've been frustrated with Football Manager for that exact same situation. Well, if I had a quid for every time the AI ran away with the ball after doing a tackle on Football Manager, then I'd be a very rich man indeed. It's a shame it's weird there's certain traits that carry over both games. Goalkeepers hoofing it up aimlessly, tackles not actually tackling properly, and just questioning why you're passing that ball to that person. Oh, and corners. Second phase corners being lethal. De Silva. Blocked by Lockyer. He will come away with it. A little bit arrogantly, let's say, because he's a centre-back, let's not forget. Sambi Lukonga, nice little touch to Tekatito. Ogbene, back to Sambi Lukonga. Sanchez. Chavez now returning to fitness, by the way. Giles, back to Adebayo. He has space. Flecken covers the near post. It's a good save. Yeah. Some of those players actually really tired. I hadn't really thought that one through. Akamba will gather this corner. Plays it off to Sanchez. Lockyer. Can we get it to either our two strikers? There's Ogbene. Took it away from the defender at least. Forced a corner. I mean, Flecken, the busier of the two goalkeepers, has to be said. And Giles to put this in. Yeah, it's wanted to make substitutes before half-time just because of how tired some players are. Because I haven't put them on the right training plan in between games. But that's my bad. It's going to be Adebayo under this. It's not the greatest of headers. Yeah, Adebayo's one of those. Look at him. He's absolutely knackered. Kabore heads down to Sambi Lukonga, who is fouled by De Silva and then fouled by Wisser. And neither of them are called as fouls. Putting in good tackles and not coming away with the ball. And just the litany of fouls that don't get called as fouls. They're the two main things I'm really struggling to understand in this game. The amount of times you can just sort of charge into the back of someone and not get the ball and then just walk off without any issues is baffling. Giles had to make do with what he kind of cornered himself into there. Adebayo lays it off for Sanchez. Samuel Okonga smashes it higher. And that's someone who isn't particularly amazing at the game to begin with. When the game isn't strong at just doing the fundamentals of the simple game, it does become that little bit more frustrating. Because one of the things that's in your arsenal as a simple player is no longer there. Ogbene does do the defender. He's brought space and capitalised. Ogbene a goal a game when he plays, whether it's off the bench or off the start. I'm sure there was a couple earlier on where he didn't do so, but as of late, a goal a game. Does the defender, sends him, and just opens up that space to smash it past Flecken on the right-hand side there. Collins, wishing he was back at Wolves at this point in time, I imagine. Who'd have thought it? The player identified as my backup right wing-back when this series started is now my most prolific goal scorer. In fairness, he has got a very good attacking-based card in Ultimate Team, but if we can hold on to this, that'd be great. I'm not liking how threatening this attack is as Wissa's turned them. Jensen's found space. Nakamba efficient with that clearance. Now let's get some fresh legs in across this team, and Ogbene's just going to have to suffer. Orpai, Janelt, Collins to De Silva. The efficient clearance has ended up in another Brentford attack. And Morpai's had a chance. Come on, you bees, says the side panels. I'll be honest, I never really understood the symbolisation of using a bee. You know, considering the most painful thing they can do ends up with them killing themselves. Not the kind of the greatest evolutionary system you want to base your analogies off. Admittedly, can't talk. We're literally hats. How the hell have you not got that ball? And Boomer is about 5'5". He's probably one of those people that's not as short as I think he is, but still. Whisper. I'm not even sure Tony's in the game, but I don't know. Like I say, I don't know which squads I've ended up with here. Morris, Barkley, like a point away at Brentford would have been fine, but you know, 3 points was on the cards there. And we've squandered them. Unless we can make an attack now. Barkley's in. No, he isn't. Doherty is in. Ogbene's fallen into IR. Okia should get this. Still maybe question it after the first bounce. Doherty and Panzu. Something that resembles going forwards would be nice. Doherty. I don't know what we were doing there. And now Brentford might have the last attack of the game. What are you doing, Lockyer? What are you doing? You're a defender. Stay there. Jensen. Yep, last attack of the game will go to Brentford. So this is going to be pain, isn't it? Yep. Oh, he's missed. If he just smashed it across the goal, he's also just been taken off for that miss, even though there's no time remaining. If we can get this header, he's tried to put it straight in, which is always helpful for us in that situation. Final whistle has been called, thankfully. So glad they didn't try a short corner. They may have won the game. It's another point. It's another draw. No Ivan Toney in the squad, which makes me feel like we didn't get the right squads when we started this game. A bit annoying now. Too late now. Still 6 points above the drop. Chelsea back in the bottom three. 27 points seemed a lot for Arsenal at this stage of the season. They are third, still behind West Ham and Liverpool now ahead of everyone. Forest still top five somehow. The situation for this game, Chavez is back, but he's only got a +1, largely because of morale. He doesn't have his sharpness back yet. So Sanchez with the +4 is still basically the same. Everyone's in a much better fitness state for this game against Arsenal. At home as well. Focus on Jesus Corona. Not sure why. There he is. Mikel Arteta. Hello. Cold day, apparently. I suppose we are in December now. Martin Odegaard, the opposing captain, in their funky away kit are Arsenal. I guess the home kit is actually quite close to ours. But yeah, this is the last game, obviously, of this episode. If you do prefer the broadcast to the broadcast telly camera, let me know. We scored immediately. This happened against Man United. We're not going to get too excited. Ogbene's run over to the supporters, I suspect. He has, yes. A goal a game! A goal a game, Ogbene! A goal a game! Why is he so good? On paper, he's our joint third best striker. That RLE signing is seemingly more and more irrelevant, but we could probably ship off Corley Rodro in January and make it a straight 4 strikers. Odegaard to Jorginho. That's Zinchenko on this left-hand side. All of their players are better than all of ours, so don't get too excited. Saka. If we get to the 85th minute and we're still 1-0 up, then yes, we can get excited. But Jesus, I always call him Jesus, even though he's Brazilian, not Argentinian or Spanish. Don't think the Portuguese pronounce it the same way. Martinelli's come short. I'm scared. And he's done the defender. Still in the box. Rice is taken over by accident more than anything. And will get the shot off. If this was a real game, of course, Jesus there would have been classed as offside because he's in the way. But EFC doesn't have that, I don't think, and actually, arguably, thankful for it. It's an incredible irritation in Football Manager because they more than often get it wrong. We've got the ball, though. Lockyer. Ogbene, that's a weird challenge from Zinchenko. Rash as all hell. Kabori's been forced out. Does have Ogbene in assistance. Back to Kabore. We can actually work this ball into the box for a chance. Sambi Lokonga doesn't take the options available to him. Ogbene's back on it. Smashes it at Timber. Doesn't fall over. Sanchez smashes it at Saliba. That's 3 in a row. Tekatiko gets kind of bundled over, but not really a foul either. Jorginho, Saliba, and now Arsenal in possession. Saka being forced the wrong way, which is always helpful. Jesus. Martinelli plays Odegaard in. He can run on here. Opted not to for some reason and made that harder for himself. Anything that makes Arsenal have a harder time of things of their own doing, will happily take. Adebayo. Oh, that was bad. Thought he could, although he has got the ball back off Ben White. He's put the ball in as well. That's Ogbene. It's 2! Just because the way everyone stopped, I was marginally concerned for offside there. Just because obviously I'm not playing on a sideline view. Slightly less confident, but that is 2, and now we can be a little bit more hopeful. Why is Ogbene so good? Why is Ogbene so good? How old is Ogbene? Can he still have dynamic potential? Because if he could grow, I mean, I think he might be a little bit capped for this year, maybe already at 71. But if he had a little bit of space to grow, we could actually get him up a little bit, carry him through, even as a rotation option going forward. Then it'd be a nice story to have, but if he's unfortunately capped at 71 and won't grow from there, we'll have to have a look. Jorginho finds Martinelli, tackled though, Kabore. Sabi Lokonga on loan from Arsenal and allowed to play because EFC doesn't understand that, which I'm thankful for in this moment, of course. Nice to have one of my best players. The person who was formerly my best player until we signed the 280 rated. Odegaard's just kind of run all the way through our defence there. It's fallen to Jesus quite naturally. Rice on the edge of the box. Saka. Back to Rice again. Worried where the angle is going to come in. Odegaard finds... Oh, it's fallen. It's hit Gabriel Jesus on the back of the foot. Odegaard doesn't get the angle. Lockyer, end of the half. Difficult to find the angle for them at the end there. And it's Luton Town 2, Arsenal 0 as we start the second half. What a surprise this is. After failing to capitalise on good momentum in the previous 2 games, 3 games in fact, we've taken the lead in all the games so far. No, we haven't. Actually, no, tell a lie. Crystal Palace scored first in theirs. We equalised that one. But having failed to capitalise on the previous times we have gone up, having lost against Man United and then drawn against Brentford. I think that's the way around, right? We have actually scored a second here against Arsenal, of all people. They've got one back. I'll be honest, that's terrible goalkeeping. It just goes straight at him. As far as I can tell, the angle may be unflattering for him, but he's got himself the space, but it's straight at Kaminsky. Obviously, when he plays in every position, we've said this before, so it's difficult to go, we better get a better goalkeeper when we need better everything. Of course, next up is Manchester City, which will start next episode, but this is obviously the first time in the league we play Manchester City. We played them in the Cup already. We were relatively okay in that game as well, let's not forget. They kind of scored their only chances in that game. We did well to restrict them. That will get to Adebayo. It's not like this game where Arsenal have had a couple of chances and not really made the most of them. We have done well to restrict them, but they've still had 2 or 3 shots. Whereas I think Man City scored 2 from 2. We didn't really do anything in the game either, let's be honest, but... And in the cup game, not really attacking is not helpful. In the league, if we could just stop them scoring and get a 0-0, I'd be happy with that. Adebayo. Oh, that's great for Tekatito. It's 3-1. Again, everyone kind of stops. I was worried about offside. What a lovely, lovely day. Should this stay the same way, by the way? This is the joint highest win. 3-1 against Aston Villa is our biggest win so far. And this is also 3-1. Ramsdale in goal. Timber not injured. We are in a bit of a fantasy world. Jesus Corona makes it 3. I guess laid off for Odegaard on his left-hand side. Dinks it into the box. Lockyer there to clear that. That will fall to Ogbene, who heads it to nobody. That's the kind of header I'm talking about earlier in. That's also prevalent in Football Manager, where they just aim at literally nobody. I don't like this. You could sense it. You could sense it. I thought for a second the defender might just get it, but just a smidgen too late. I won't really blame Kaminsky for that one. It was on his near side, but there was a hell of a lot of force on that one. Reacting in time would have been ambitious. Adebayo's shrugged off that challenge from whoever's their number 20. Sanchez, Giles, tries to take it away from the defender, fails to do so, and then gets pushed so far off by Ben White that he's nowhere near by the time Ben White delivers the ball to someone else. It was so bizarre how far he flew there from just being shouldered from Ben White. Giles has now recovered, thankfully, and has stopped that Saka attack, only for Saka to get the ball back again. Case in point from what I'm talking about earlier, that's a corner. I'm now terrified. Kabore and Adebayo are off the field as we force Saliba off. That might be a goal kick. No, we got a foot in. Saka gets the short corner and still going. Ben White tackled. An absolute mess though. There's about 3 Luton players and 3 Arsenal players all converged on the same spot. Does see Arsenal come away with the ball, and now that's threatening. It's come off our show. A couple of late substitutions, or say a couple, 3. Barkley on along with Clark and Mpanzu in various positions. Mpanzu taking the centre-back spot off Nakamba. We do get under that one. It's Samuel Okonga to head that one away, actually. And then Morris to help certify that. Ogbene heads it twice to get to Samuel Okonga. Plays it forward. So that's Ross Barkley now on. Lovely ball to Doherty. Another great ball to Ogbene. Sensible from there. Samuel Okonga holding on to possession with literal seconds on the clock. This should facilitate the victory. And does. Doesn't matter that we didn't score there at the end from a threatening position. It remains 3-2 and a crucial 3 points. Arteta very sad about things there, to which I have to comfort him. He can't believe that he's been beaten by Luton Town, and to be honest, neither can I. It ends Luton Town 3, Arsenal 2. We may have conceded 2, but it was actually a very good defensive performance. That victory sees us go ahead of Everton into 14th, 16 points, still 6 points clear of the relegation zone, though, just because of the way other results have panned out. Chelsea did win a game and see themselves just out themselves. But yeah, 3 teams on 10 points. Sheffield United being simulated relatively accurately with 3 points. That kind of says it there, though. There's a lot of people you'd expect at the top of that list. Almiron's not one of them. Watkins, though, 11 goals. Josh is up there. Paqueta's up there. Broyer's up there for Chelsea. Only 10 games played for him. He's actually arguably the best one on there, just in terms of goals per game. But Ogbene featured in 14 games, but let's not forget the majority of those he played at right wing back, or a significant proportion of them anyway. He has more goals than Salah. Adebayo does have 6. That has gone a little under the radar. But he has more goals than Salah, Rashford and Haaland and Hoyland. But then again, so do Almiron, Awani and Vinicius at Fulham. So, yeah, a little weird. He's 26 and he has gone from 70 to 71 already this season. So we'll see if we can naturalise him as a striker. We can actually naturalise him as a striker. He does have low defensive work rate. No idea what we were doing as a right wing back. Take him 7 weeks to fully naturalise there, but better than nothing. And that's that for this episode. 5 points gained in 4 games. It is something. 15 games played, 16 points on the board. Realistically, that kind of rate will see us okay by the end of the season. We'll be in that 40-point ballpark. And of course, this is only the first half. We have 2 signings coming in January, and there's more that we can do in January. We can make sales, we can make signings, all that jazz. So we've put ourselves in a good position, a much better position than, frankly, I was anticipating at this point of the season. So that's it from today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again relatively soon, probably Friday. But as I say, things are a little bit up in the air at the moment, and I do apologise for that. There's not a lot I can do about it other than just react and hope for the best. But I appreciate the support, and thank you very much. Until next time, ta-ra.